Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will talk about how to conduct one-on-one meetings. Okay. So what are these one-on-one meetings? In some of the organizations, they have these one-on-one meetings between the managers and their team members. Or it can also happen between the managers and some other cross-functional team members. Or it can happen between mentors and mentees. Right? But today we will focus mostly on the one-on-one meetings between manager and team member. And it is also possible that some of these organizations, they may not have any one-on-one meeting. So for some of you, the one-on-one meeting itself may be very new. And for some of you, maybe the one-on-one meeting is not a very, you did not have a very good experience of having these one-on-one meetings, either with your managers or with your team members because of your past experience. That is basically because people are not trained on how to conduct these one-on-one meetings. Most of the times people think that these are all, like regular other meetings. But there is a lot of difference between other meetings and one-on-one meetings. So in case if you had a bad experience of one-on-one meetings, or if you do not know about one-on-one meetings, definitely this video is a must for you. In case if you already are having one-on-one meetings effectively, probably you can take it as a kind of refresher. Okay. So let's move on why we need to conduct these one-on-one meetings. Okay. Again, as I said, the video will focus on the one-on-one meetings between the managers and their team members. Right? So it is an opportunity to connect with your team member, because in our daily busy schedule, our hustle and bustle of life, we may not be able to connect with our team members. So it is an opportunity to connect, and you will be able to understand the person better through your conversations. And similarly, that person also will be able to understand your person and personality. So you try to build and maintain rapport in these meetings, and also you will build the trust. And you also will understand if any specific support is required for your team member to become successful, either in personal or professional life. And these meetings are also helpful for discussing about your team members' growth opportunities, and you can coach or mentor those people, and you can reinforce the recognition whatever the person is doing. You can recognize and appreciate the person, and this is an opportunity for giving you continuous feedback to that person as well as receiving the feedback, because sometimes you may be doing something unintentionally which people may not like. So it will give you, they will give you a feedback or a feed forward on what is not going well as well as what is going well. And you will make your team members feel valued because you are spending time with them. Definitely they feel valued and they feel respected, right? And also it helps you to understand the pulse of your team members, like what they're thinking about the organization, what they're thinking about the team, what they're thinking about the projects, all those things. Okay. So definitely you need to conduct these one-on-one meetings with your team members. With your every team member, you need to conduct these one-on-one meetings. Okay. And now let us look at the structure of the meetings. Okay. See, here is the crucial part, because many people do not know how to structure these meetings. Right. That is why probably people feel these one-on-one meetings are boring, or it's not creating the value. But if you can structure your one-on-one meetings in a proper manner, definitely people will feel valued, and people also recognize the value of these one-on-one meetings, right? So what is the frequency? Definitely the weekly is recommended frequency. If not weekly, at least monthly. That is the bare minimum, right? You can have even fortnightly meetings also, but weekly is recommended, and at least monthly is the bare minimum. And in terms of duration, if it is a weekly, 20 to 30 minutes should be sufficient. But if it is fortnightly, probably 30 to 45 minutes. And if it is monthly, 45 to 60 minutes. And in terms of location, if you are having in-person meetings, which is always recommended, better to get into the meeting room or or some private place within your organization, within your office, right, where there is no disturbance and all those things. Because now people are working from home, the remote working, the hybrid working, and sometimes you may have your team members spread across the globe. So in those cases, definitely it's better to have that video meeting. Or if the video is not possible because of any reason, then audio meeting. So then we looked at the logistics part of it. Now in terms of the content of the one-on-one meeting, I would strongly recommend that you split your one-on-one meeting into 3 components. One is to talk about the well-being of the person. How is the person is doing? How his family is doing? Is he having any issues in terms of personal life? Well, if the person is ready to tell, right? And if the issues in the personal life, whether that is impacting his professional life, right? So you can understand that. And also you can know about the vacation plans, what he's doing, what are the interests, all those things. Okay, hobbies. And second part, you focus on what support is required for that person in his day-to-day, issues. And similarly, if any follow-up action items are there from previous meeting, you can also discuss about it. But definitely do not talk too much about the regular project kind of things. It is more to discuss about the person's, what are the bottlenecks for the person to be successful, right? That is what we need to focus more. Of course, we will see what are the do's and what are the don'ts in these meetings. And third component is about the person's growth. It can be the learnings, it can be horizontal growth, it can be the vertical growth, promotions, right? How that person can be successful in his career, not just in the project or program what he or she is doing. How the person can be successful in his career. What are the growth opportunities? You can provide the mentoring and coaching to the person. Right? This is how you need to structure the meetings. And now we will look at how can you conduct the effective one-on-one meetings, right? Definitely there are 3 parts again: before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. So when it comes to the before the meeting, let the agenda be set by the team member, right? Give him the chance, give her the chance. So it is a kind of delegation for the person, right? And the person feels valued because you are asking the person to set the agenda. And of course, you can add your inputs, definitely. And then better to use some tools to capture the agenda and share it with each other, so that you all know before going to the meeting, okay, these are the talking points for my one-on-one meeting. Okay. And then you prepare well. Let the team member also plan for the logistics as we discussed, date, time, location, and then prepare well for any follow-up or action items. It is not only from the team member side, even from your side. In case if you have any follow-up item or action item on you also need to provide update on that. So you also be prepared for that. And during the meeting, what you need to do, first start with well-being check-in, right? And then let the team member drive the meeting, right? Make it flexible. Let the team member drive the meeting with whatever his discussion points he wants to discuss first. And then you can, discuss your points and give space for the team member to express his or her opinion and views. And then ask open-ended questions and listen more empathetically, right? So if if the person is saying that it's not going well, so ask, okay, what is not going well? Why is he feeling like that? So ask the open-ended questions and listen more empathetically and show genuine interest in his whatever he's saying or whatever she's saying, and his or her growth opportunities, and provide suggestions or support if requested, right? Don't jump into conclusions and start giving suggestions or right? So if your team member wants your support, or if he or she wants your suggestions, then you can provide. And provide or seek updates on the follow-up action items. again, as I said, some of your one-on-one meeting has to be dedicated for, for these updates, right? So you provide updates on what are the follow-up action items for you. And similarly, you seek updates from your team member. And then this is also a good opportunity for you to provide continuous feedback to your person, your team member. Similarly, the team member also can give feedback on you. You need to ask specifically, okay, tell me, what is going on, or how I can change, or is everything going fine? Is my behavior causing any issues, right? So ask that question to get the feedback and recognize and appreciate for the accomplishments. If your team member says that, we have done this last week, recognize it, appreciate it. Then after the meeting, note down the action items, right? You need to take notes. Your team member have to take notes. And then again, share, those notes, send a follow-up note on any open items. Or if if your team member asks you some information in the meeting and you may not know that answer, then after the meeting, find out that answer and, send that information to your team member, and then of course the team member can send the notes, meeting notes. And then very importantly, send thank you note for any achievements discussed during the meeting. Not only for your team member, in case if your team member is a team lead, right? And if he's having, 4 or 5 people working with him, you can send a thanking note for them also, right? So this is how, you can discuss in your one-on-one meetings very effectively, and you can utilize the time. And some of the don'ts for one-on-one meetings, this is very important. Please focus here. Do not cancel the meetings because your team members look forward for these meetings. So please do not cancel. They get disappointed. At least reschedule the meeting, and also don't cancel in the last minute. Okay, of course, if it is required, something coming up very urgent, there is no choice, that's okay. But don't make it a habit of canceling meetings every time and rescheduling, right? Don't do that. And do not talk about projects or programs only, right? As I said, you need to dedicate your time. Probably you need to split your time into well-being check-in and some follow-up updates and some growth opportunities. And very importantly, if you can get this information from your staff meeting or any other group meeting, don't talk that particular topic in your one-on-one. You are wasting your time as well as your team members' time. If you can get that information from some other source, please don't spend time there, right? Unless specifically, your team member wants any support there. And do not be late to meetings, very important. And you need to also ensure that your team member also is not late to the meetings. And do not keep back-to-back meetings, because back-to-back meetings may lead to, canceling or rescheduling your meetings. So don't do that. And also it may, put you in a rush to complete this one-on-one meeting if you put it back-to-back meeting. So try to avoid that. Okay, don't rush these one-on-one meetings. And do not keep it in public or noisy place like cafeteria. We already discussed it should be in private place where there is no noise and all. And do not, be harsh or rude or impolite to your, person. And very importantly, do not make these one-on-one meetings as energy draining meetings. After the meeting, your team member should go motivated and energetic to do more or to continue with his activities or her activities. But if you make it as an energy draining meeting with blame game and by doing all these things, right? Not being polite, asking only about the project updates, then definitely the people will not feel any value in these meetings, and they their energy gets drained. So don't do that. Okay, so you understand your team members to serve them better, but as a servant leader, you need to understand your team members to serve them better and set your team members up for success through these one-on-one meetings. This is an opportunity for you to set your team members up for success. Okay, so this is how you can conduct the one-on-one meetings effectively. And thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in next video. Until then, please take